Welcome. My name is Luann Pygott, and it is Sunday evening. It is time for our ministry live. I'm going to read some Bible verses for you, and I'm going to play a couple songs on the piano and give you some thoughts, and I hope that this will be a blessing to you. So the title of my live tonight, I am calling Your Heart, and I'm going to read you some Bible verses about your heart. Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Above all else, you should guard your heart. Everything that you do flows from it. And if you look at anything that you're doing in your life, whatever you're doing, it's flowing from your heart. And if you look at things that you're doing and thinking, I kind of wish I wasn't doing this. If you change your heart, it will change what you're doing. So Proverbs 27:19 says, as water reflects the face, in other words, if you look at your reflection in the water, as water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. And that's what that's saying. Whatever you see going on in your life, it's reflecting your heart. Whatever choices you're making, whatever you're doing, it is a reflection of what is in your heart. Jeremiah 17:10 says, I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. Are you prepared and willing to be rewarded for your conduct? If you look at your conduct and your deeds and say, oh, I don't think I want what that deserves, you need to change your conduct. How do you change your conduct? You change your heart. If you change your heart, you change the source of the conduct. If you change your heart and you allow God to change your heart, then your conduct will change. And then you will not look at dread at receiving rewards for your conduct. Jeremiah 29:13 says, if you seek me, or it says you will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. If you are looking for God and you are wanting God to change your heart and be a part of your heart, if you seek him with all your heart, it says you will find him. If you feel like I don't feel like I can find him, seek him with all your heart. Put it first as your priority, and then you will find him. 1 Samuel 16:7 says, the Lord does not look at the things people look at, not the outward appearance. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. The Lord looks at the heart. When he looks at you, what does he look at? He's not looking at your stature. He's not looking at your appearance. It's okay to adjust your appearance like I'm doing. It is okay to improve your appearance. But you can improve your appearance all you want, and if that's all you're doing is what's on the outside, you're not impressing God a single bit. Because he doesn't pay any attention to that. He knows that's just outward. What he's looking at is your heart. And you need to change your heart, because that's what he's looking at. And that is who you really are, your heart. All the outward appearance stuff, that all goes away. It all washes off. It all comes off. That is all just, surface. It's all fluff. It's all extra. What really matters is your heart. Proverbs 3:3-4 says, let love and faithfulness never leave you. Is that your conduct? Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. I kind of think of that like a rope. And it says to do that yourself. You bind it around your neck so it never leaves you. Write them on the tablet of your heart. What are you writing on there? Love and faithfulness. You make that your conduct. You make that what's in your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. I think it's interesting this. It's not just in God's sight, it's also in the sight of man. Matthew 6:21, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So if you see someone, or maybe it's you, and you always wonder, why is my heart going astray? Why am I going astray? Why am I always following the wrong path? Why am I always doing the wrong thing? Because that's where your treasure is. That's what you're seeking after. That's what you're looking for. We always think of that as meaning heaven. Where your treasure there, your heart is. When you think if your treasure's in heaven, your heart will be in heaven. And that is true. But I think it can also indicate the condition of your heart. If you are always following the wrong path and doing things that you don't want to do, that's where what you value is. That's where your treasure is. If you change what your treasure is, you will change your conduct and change your heart. Proverbs 17:22. I love this one. Says, a cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. If you want something that's just as good as medicine, according to the Bible, have a cheerful heart. A cheerful heart is going to be just like medicine to you. And I think the science has even proven that depression and the opposite of cheerfulness, grief, it's destructive to your health. It's destructive to you. But if you are full of joy and out of depression, it's just like medicine. It is good for you. And see, it tells you the opposite's true. A crushed spirit dries up the bones. That's sadness and grief and depression. It's going to be detrimental to you. Proverbs 3:1-2 says, my son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart. If you keep it in your heart, that is what you will follow. For they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity. If for no other reason, this is why you want to keep the commands of God in your heart. They will prolong your life for many years. They will bring you peace and prosperity. Psalm 51:10 says, create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. You cannot purify your own heart. We as human beings cannot purify our own heart because we don't have purity in us. Initially, we aren't the source of it. We can acquire it from God, but we don't possess it at birth. So you go to God and say, Lord, create a pure heart in me. If you ask him to do that, he will do that for you. Ezekiel 36:26. I really like this one. This one is good. I will give you, this is God speaking, I will give you a new heart. So even if you feel like I am not anywhere near where I want to be, my heart is not where I want it to be, I'm not following the conduct I want to have, I'm not doing it, God will give you a new heart. And here he's telling you, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone. A heart of stone is a heart that cannot be moved. It's a heart that cannot be molded, a heart that cannot change. And even if you feel like, it's too old, I'm too old, it's too late for me, it's been too long, you have a heart of stone. But God's telling you, I can remove that and give you a new heart that can be touched and moved and molded by him. And it says, I will give you a heart of flesh. And this verse right here, Jeremiah 24:7, I actually kind of got this whole theme from this one verse. This is the verse I actually got to first. And I think he is referring somewhat to the Jewish people here, but this can refer to any of us. It can apply to us. And I love that. Jeremiah 24:7, it says, I will give them a heart to know that I am the Lord. Even if you know someone or you are someone who says, I don't even believe in God. I don't know how to know he's real. I don't, where's the proof? How do I know that he is really who he says he is? How do I really know God is even real? It says he will give you a heart to know he's the Lord. It's a heart belief is what it is. It is faith. It is a heart belief. And if you don't have that, he can give that to you as well. I will give them a heart to know that I am the Lord, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God, for they shall return to me with their whole heart. It takes your whole heart. And Psalm 147:3 says, he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. If you feel like my heart, and I have certainly been there, my heart is in no condition for anything right now. My heart is in not a good condition. It is not a good condition to follow the Lord. It's not a good condition to receive the Lord. It's not a good condition. My heart is just broken. And if it's broken, something that's broken, it doesn't work right. But he says in Psalm 147:3, he heals the brokenhearted. I think all of us at some point are in a place in our life where we're brokenhearted. And if you are in a place where you were brokenhearted, he will heal that. It may not happen instantly. You may not wake up healed tomorrow, or you might, but you may not. But he will be in the process of healing it. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Even if you have wounds, he will bind that up and heal it for you. I'm going to sing a song now that I really like this song. It's written actually in 1976. by Bill Gaither. Bill Gaither, he wrote some good songs. He really, really transformed Christian music when he came along. This song is called It Is Finished, and it really tells quite a good story about Jesus and what he does for us and what he did do for us, dying on the cross for us and how he changes our life. And I pray that this will bless you. I'm going to throw another chorus at the end of this that I think, I don't remember who sang that actually. I don't know if it was the Gaither Trio. I don't think it was. But whoever it was, it is called Lord of All. And I pray that these will bless you. There's a line that's been drawn through the ages. On that line stands the old rugged cross. On that cross, a battle is raging for the gain of man's soul or his loss. On one side march the forces of evil, all the demons and the devils of hell. On the other, the angels of glory, and they met on Golgotha's hill. And the earth shakes with the force of the conflict, and the sun refuses to shine, for there hangs God's Son in the balance, and then through the darkness he cries, it is finished, the battle is over, it is finished, there'll be no more war, it is finished, the end of the conflict, it is finished, and Jesus is Lord. Yet in my heart the battle was raging. Not all prisoners of war had come home. They were battlefields of my own making. I didn't know that the war had been won. Then I heard that the King of the ages had fought all the battles for me, and that victory was mine for the claiming, and now praise his name, I am free. It is finished, the battle is over, it is finished, there'll be no more war, love the part that says, in my heart, the battle is still raging. If in your heart the battle is still raging, he's already won the war. And it says all you have to do is give yourself over to him. And then for you, your life, it will be finished, written, and you will be his. And the final verse I'm going to leave with you today is Psalm 19 and 14. It says, this is where you want your heart to be. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Did you ever think, we think about this so often where it says, may the words of my mouth. We always think about the words of our mouth. I'm not too sure a whole lot of people worry about the words of their mouth anymore, I'd be quite honest. I really don't think listening to people and the words of their mouth nowadays, I don't think they're worried about the words of their mouth. But if people think about anything, they think about the words of their mouth. How are the words of your mouth? But what about this part? What about the meditation of your heart? Is that pleasing to the Lord? Not only what you're speaking out of your mouth, but what are you thinking in your heart? What are you meditating on? I don't mean a passing thought that you had no control over, that you can just flush out of your system, but meditate means you sit and you're thinking about it for a while. Is what you're thinking long-term about. Not only what's coming out of your mouth, but what you're dwelling on in your heart and in your mind for a long term. Is that pleasing to God? That is the condition of your heart and will determine where you go and your conduct. So turn your mind and your heart and your meditation and your words to be pleasing to God this week. And until next week, may you be blessed. Good night.